Nerderotic.com.
With apologies to the 37,100 people who supposedly bought Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America last month, the number's probably somewhere around 25 to maybe even 20,000. And the people who are going to be buying it today, I will be spoiling the end of this comic because it's going to happen in the MCU in one way or another. So I just want to warn all those MCU fans who don't read comic books. And in a country of 330 million at this point, 37,000 is pretty damn low. That's what I get on the low end of my videos these days. So if you don't want to be spoiled, get out, although the headline probably already did that for you. We are going to get a female Captain America, and why not at this point? Let's just call it Girlville Comics Group instead of Marvel. I know it's the best I can come up with. Now, of course, this is from Bleeding Cool, but I'll just read you the article so it doesn't crash your computer, and just go to Bleeding Fool or Bounding into Comics instead. From the Citadel of moral and honest journalism, Bleeding Cool, Rich Johnston writes, Captain America no more again, right? But could Major Spoiler be the new Captain America? Of course it can. I could have predicted this. Anybody could have predicted this. It's just a matter of when we get the female Spider-Man and when we get we've already got the female Iron Man, and we've already kind of got a female Spider-Man. We're going to get a female Doctor Strange. Let's just switch it all out, get it over with. And at this point, is it even grabbing headlines? Because nobody heard about this. Today's Captain America 12 sees Steve Rogers having to deal with everything that's been building up for the character over the recent years, replaced by a version of himself revealed to have been raised by Hydra and a sleeper agent all this time who took over the country in Secret Empire as the Secret Commander since he returned to the role, defeating his other self through a variety of cosmic cube trickery, including barf, and punching really hard. He's been accused of murdering General Ross, imprisoned, and shock media has been massaged to present the idea that just one Steve Rogers was the supreme commander and anything else is fake news from a corrupt mainstream media to a gullible public who will believe any nonsense these days. Wow, Ta-Nehisi Coates really knows how to write them, doesn't he? No wonder why Captain America is only selling 37,000 copies during the height of the MCU. Well done, guys. Which leads Steve Rogers to abandon his Captain America identity one more time, with the Steve Rogers super soldier costume used the last time he abandoned his identity and saw first Bucky Barnes and then Sam Wilson take up the role. I don't regret one bit not picking up a single issue of Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America because I knew we would get something like this. How groundbreaking, how original. He's on the run again. But as it comes to the MCU, we have just gone through probably the time that the world will be the most aware of superheroes. Like nothing will ever equal Endgame. Nothing will ever equal the awareness of the American superhero, and Captain America is selling under 40,000 copies. That cannot be said enough. That tells you exactly where things are at. That comic should be selling in the hundreds of thousands right now. Captain America should be the most popular character, especially since he's not around in the MCU. You can still find him in the comics. So if you love the character, that's where you can go. You can find him in his source material, but nobody cares. Now, yes, of course, nobody wants to read these days, and there's video games, but the MCU is probably the most popular thing in the world. You think some of that would trickle down to the comic books, but they've made no effort to even make them look like they do in the films. And now we're going to get this. Remember, Sharon Carter was originally the younger sister of Captain America's wartime love, Peggy Carter. Marvel's sliding timescale as World War II became more distant, Sharon Carter became Peggy's niece. A relationship between the two was established, even as their ages began to fluctuate widely. Peggy Carter suffered dementia, was placed into care, and died. Both Steve and Sharon attended her funeral. And now, well, Marvel Comics does try to mirror movie continuity where they can, with Captain America giving up the shield and costume to Sam Wilson in the movies. Could Marvel Comics be going that way as well? Or is there another solution? Because today's Captain America number 12 gets a post-credit scene of its own. So if you're one of those 25,000 people who actually pick up that comic and read it, and you're part of my audience, I'm going to guess it's like 12 people. So 12 people might want to step out right now, because there's going to be a spoiler, and there's going to be a little bit of spoiler for the What If TV show. I didn't know this information, but it just dropped here, and it's in Bleeding Cool, so it has to be true. It is notable that Peggy Carter, played by Haley Atwell, will appear in the first episode of the upcoming TV series What If? Now, this is an animated series, so I guess she's voicing the part of Peggy Carter, in which she receives the super soldier serum and becomes Captain America rather than Steve Rogers. Wow, that is a big shocker. What if Captain America was Peggy Carter? They were going to choose that as their first episode of What If? Well, that was the most interesting thing to me about all of the MCU announcements, and now I'm completely uninterested. Peggy Carter was fine on her own, and now they have to do this, and that's the cool thing about What If, but them choosing that and considering that Valkyrie is now looking for her queen with Lady Sif, we got female Thor. It's just, God, is it ever gonna, it's funny at this point. It's so bad, it's funny. Super soldier serum and becomes Captain America rather than Steve Rogers, who instead becomes the new Iron Man. That'd be interesting. Will the comic books reflect this at all? Basically, is this the beginning of Peggy Carter as Captain America in the comic book universe, taking the place of Steve Rogers and tying it in with What If, the TV series, keeping that story continuity? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. Why would they do this? Why would they come out with this at the end of Captain America number 12? Please go, if you're going to buy it, go buy it at your local comic store. They need your money, man. They are going out left and right. I got some friends out there. Go buy their back issues, to be honest with you. The back issues are better. But yeah, Captain America number 12, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, art by the great Adam Kubert, and cover art by Alex Ross. Captain of Nothing concludes. Wow, it's called Captain of Nothing. Uplifting stories from Marvel Comics. God, what happened to those days? You know, we have recently been accused by Variety of wanting antiquated social politics in our stories. No, the uplifting, thrilling, fun stories that, they can get dark once in a while, aren't antiquated. They are obviously something people still want. That's why back issue sales are up. That's why comic sales are down. That's why people buy trades. That's why people want older stories. That's why Indiegogo comics are selling so well right now. Of course, they prepped us for Haley Atwell's Captain America in the Exiles last year, and they were just getting ready to put it here in the continuity for the comics, and this is prepping everybody to probably bring it sooner rather than later into the MCU. I wouldn't be surprised. Considering the events of the last week with female Thor and Valkyrie wanting her queen of Lady Sif, or Lady Sif wanting her queen of Valkyrie, I lose track these days. I absolutely expect them to announce this, maybe even as soon as D23 this year, or any of the next 50 Comic-Cons we have in the next calendar year. Everybody, have a great day. I look forward to bringing you more gender swapping announcements in the next 5 or 10 minutes. And we are one step closer to A-Force, everyone. See you in the next one.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.